Hey guys, I want to show you the latest build. Dan Russell, one of the patrons out here, sent me some parts for different amps that he needs built. He knew times were a little bit slow here at D-Lab, so he's been supporting me with some cool projects. So the first build was a 6v6 Opti-Plex amp. This thing really came together well, and it really looks good. Very compact build. So this chassis is 9.5 by 5 inch by 2 inch. I have these custom control panels, which helps with the build obviously. But I'm going to give you guys a little guided tour of the amplifier, and if you want to build one, I'll supply you a schematic and of course any technical support you need. Alright, let's give the Opti-Plex a good look over. We got our custom control panel. We have a power switch, tone, the Opti-Plex, which pans from Fender to Marshall frequency response. Straight up, it's kind of like a champ. There's no frequency enhancement. Then we have a volume control, my input jack, and a nice glass red power jewel. Really looks good. Top side, I have a Hammond power transformer. Now this is one that I have not used in the past. Dan actually supplied this. Part number is a 6K4VG. Kind of an odd part number. Of course, we have the 6V6 and 12AX7. Dan supplied the tubes, and he has a beautiful Sylvania. It says 100%, and it works like 100%. This output transformer, I believe, is a Chinese type. It's got outputs for 4 and 8 ohm. So we got our two speaker jacks back here. And I utilize the fused IEC power input jack. Alright, let's go underside. Well, this is where it gets good, guys. You can see it is a very compact build. The heart of this amp is a little PCBA Opti board. Okay, so this board does it all. Kind of call it the all-in-one board. You got a power supply section, and of course you have all the components required for the 12AX7 and the 6V6. So once you land this module, you simply swing the wires up to your controls and the tube sockets. Now I did make a change to this amp because when I fired it up I noticed I had about, say, 25 millivolts of hum. Well, that might not seem like a lot of hum, but when you have a little combo amp and a sensitive 8-inch speaker, you will hear that. Now when you play you don't, but I wasn't happy with that, so I added a choke. This is a little choke that I featured that's supplied by amplifyparts.com. I think they're about 10 bucks. It's a great little choke, and as you can see, it nuzzled inside of the chassis nicely, so I didn't have to put another component on top of the amp. I had to add another filter cap. So currently you come in with a high voltage, it goes through the diodes, then it hits this filter cap, and then it goes through the choke and back to the board to the next filter cap. We have our screen tap and the preamp tap. Alright, now we'll get in close so you can see the controls. You can see she's pretty compact. That Opti-Plex pot just clears the board. So when I laid out this amp, I actually have my tube sockets already landed, and then I moved this board around to where I could center it between these caps. Otherwise it would have been pretty difficult to build. If you guys want to build this amp, you don't need to use this little compact chassis. I just thought it was a challenge, and it allowed me to use that custom front panel which was cut to this chassis. Right, so here's my volume control. So I like to use this coax, which is RG274. And if you follow that, you'll see a heat shrinked area. That's because there is a 1.5K grid stop resistor going to pin 7 of the 12AX7. And over here, going to pin 2, that's where the 68K resistor is, going up to the input jack. The glass jewel and lamp assembly, that was an afterthought. Dan wanted it. I normally don't put power lamps on the Opti-Plex, but there's plenty of room to drill and mount that monster. Alright, let's flip it around and look at it from the other side. So now we're looking at the Opti-Plex from the front view. You see our two speaker jacks for 4 and 8 ohm. And here is that power supply choke. And you can see the wiring twisted coming over here to the power supply area. My output transformer is also coming up and over. The reason I did this is the 12AX7 is very sensitive to output transformer leads, filament leads, choke leads, you name it. If it can see that noise, it will amplify it. So I made sure to get everything up and away from that 12AX7. And if you take a close look at the primary windings going to the output transformer, you'll see this black wire looped around it, and that's actually going to a ground terminal. That is the poor man's shielding for these cables. And it's a little bit safer than to try to slide some shield, say, off of some RG8 coax, because it could touch things that you don't want it to, and you have an arky-sparky show. Fender uses this method on a lot of their amps. Take a look at their preamp board and you'll see it. Over here is the fused IEC power input jack, which makes things really nice. You don't have to land a separate fuse, and the ground lug can go right to the chassis. I always put a little terminal board here for the 200 ohm balancing resistors, and then the ground from my power input and the center tap for the power transformer goes there. Okay. Now if you follow this green wire, I know it's kind of hard to see, it comes around here to a point on the board that says G1. That is the main power supply ground. And then if you look down here, another thing that's hard to see, there is G2. That is the preamp ground. This is stolen from how Fender does it to reduce ground loops and reduce hum. Tube sockets for this build were supplied by Dan. These are the Michael-X. So you have your 8-pin octal and the 9-pin for the 12AX7. These are good quality sockets. The only thing that I don't really like about the octal is the punch out hole. It's huge, okay? So I hope you have a big stepper bit. Now if you follow this lead here where it says C, this is your cathode bias resistor. We have a 470 ohm 2 watt, which puts about 19 volts here, representing about 40 milliamps of current through the output tube. If you guys want a copy of the schematic for this amp, email me and I'll shoot you a JPEG. Alright, that's lowdown on this custom Opti-Plex build for Dan Russell. Next question is, we know it looks good, but how does it perform? I've got the test set up and we'll see how she does. Alright, let's test the Opti-Plex amp build. First thing I always like to do is check the noise floor with no signal applied. So my oscilloscope right now is monitoring off of one of my dummy heads. That's going to the speaker out of the Opti-Plex amp. I'm at 50 millivolts per division. You can see right there, there is no hum on that output. Now I'm going to bring up the volume. And there's full volume. So she should be as clean as a whistle when you're not playing. Next thing we're going to do is inject a signal into the amp. Bring my volume up. Whoa, how about we change that amplitude? There's 0.2 volts per division. Let's go for about 4 divisions. Okay. I'm going to take my frequency down to around 350 hertz. And then we're going to look at the output of the Opti-Plex control. You see we have some gain. It attenuates. And if I go to Marshall side, it attenuates more. That's because the frequency is too low. It's liking Fender performance at this point. So now let's go to Marshall. I'm going to take this frequency up to about a kilohertz or so. Now you see we have some boost at that higher frequency. And that's how the Opti-Plex operates. When you go midway, there are no caps on the frequency response, so it's just running flat. Okay. And I also leave my tone control flat when I'm doing these tests. Looks like it's working great. Let's put a real signal into it and see what it sounds like. Alright guys, I've connected up a old Ampex 6x9 speaker using a looper. We can take a listen to the Opti-Plex. We're in Fender position. Well, that's a wrap, guys, on the presentation of the 6v6 Opti-Plex amp build. Dan supplied me parts for another one, and we're going to be featuring that in the near future. Really appreciate you guys' support. Dan, thanks for the project, man. It was a lot of fun.